Lines. The chairperson of the Civil Society Organizations Network in Western Equatorial State, Wanga Emmanuel, has called on government authorities and security commanders to immediately withdraw forces from civilian residential areas after a young girl was killed in a crossfire during a sporadic gunfire in Yambio on Saturday evening. Community leaders in Tony South County of Warab State have agreed to move their cattle to the swampy grazing areas without carrying firearms and pledge to surrender their weapons as part of ongoing disarmament efforts. And a civil society organization in Jonglei State has urged authorities and medical personnel to reach an amicable settlement to end the standoff that has forced the closure of Bor Civil Hospital for more than a week, warning that the continued shutdown is only increasing the suffering of the people. These stories and more coming to you in this news bulletin with me, Lasuba Memo, and now the news in detail. The chairperson of the Civil Society Organizations Network in Western Equatorial State, Wanga Emmanuel, has called on government authorities and security commanders to immediately withdraw forces from civilian residential areas after a young girl was killed in crossfire during a sporadic gunfire in Yambio on Saturday evening. The shooting at Masia Trading Center occurred at around 7 p.m. on Saturday. Wanga said such shooting in civilian populated areas put residents in grave danger as bullets struck homes and trapped families indoors. His remarks on Sunday came after authorities in Yambio announced that the gunfire stemmed from a conflict among members of the organized forces and that investigations were underway to determine the root causes. Wanga appealed to the state authorities to treat the situation with urgency and direct security leaders to relocate their forces away from civilian populated locations. He also urged the residents to remain indoors while security tensions persist, adding that parents should ensure children do not move outside during such incidents. The incident prompted Western Equatorial State Governor James Altaif Berapai to return from Juba on Sunday to calm the situation. Community leaders in Tony South County, Warab State, have agreed to move their cattle to the Tony grazing areas without carrying firearms and pledge to surrender their weapons as part of ongoing disarmament efforts. The leaders also urged neighboring communities to adopt similar unarmed grazing practices and called on the county authorities to regulate cattle movement to prevent further conflict. The decisions were announced during a 3-day peace dialogue underway in Akon Koch Boma, where the Tony community is seeking to address internal disputes and reduce recurring communal violence. Opening the meeting on behalf of the county commissioner over the weekend, the executive director Abraham Deng praised the initiative and encouraged participants to embrace forgiveness, unity and long-term reconciliation. Local authorities welcomed the commitments and reminded the communities of existing ban on cattle migration to Jew River County. The dialogue is expected to conclude today with adoption of final resolutions. A civil society organization in Jonglei State has urged authorities and medical personnel to reach an amicable settlement to end the standoff that has forced the closure of Bor Civil Hospital for more than a week, warning that the continued shutdown is only increasing the suffering of the people. Intrepid South Sudan's appeal on Sunday follows a prolonged industrial strike in which doctors, nurses and other staff locked down the state's main referral facility in protest over what they describe as forced relocation to insecure areas. The closure, now entering its second week, has left thousands without essential medical care. According to Intrepid South Sudan, the impact has already turned deadly as 2 patients, a woman and a man, reportedly lost their lives from complications that could have been prevented had the hospital services been available. At least 4 pregnant women were also forced to deliver in unsafe conditions outside the hospital. The organization said, warning that more unreported cases are likely unfolding in residential areas. While acknowledging that the strikes and other forms of civil disobedience are constitutionally protected, the group stressed that the grievances underlying the industrial action must be addressed respectfully and urgently. It called on the hospital management, state authorities and the striking civil servants to prioritize dialogue. Intrepid South Sudan said it will continue monitoring the situation with concerns and unreserved solidarity with the patients and the general public. This is our Radio Morning News, and now to the international scene. A tribunal in Bangladesh is due to hand down its verdict against former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. The deposed ruler is accused of ordering a violent crackdown on student-led protests last year, during which the UN estimates up to 1,400 people died. She is living in exile in India after being forced from office. Prosecutors are seeking the death penalty after a trial was held in her absence. Hasina denies all charges against her. And the U.S. State Department has said Cartel de los Sols, a group the U.S. alleges is led by Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, will be designated a terrorist organization. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio issued a statement on Sunday announcing that the U.S. intends to consider the group a foreign terrorist organization from November 24. It means that Maduro will effectively be designated a terrorist as well, because the U.S. alleges he heads the Cartel de los Sols, an accusation Maduro strongly denies. It is the Trump administration's latest effort to reduce drug trafficking and put pressure on Maduro as the U.S. considers whether to take military action inside the country. This is our Radio News, and to end this bulletin, here's a recap of the headlines. The chairperson of the Civil Society Organization Network in Western Equatoria State, Wanga Emmanuel, has called on government authorities and security commanders to immediately withdraw forces from civilian residential areas after a young girl was killed in crossfire during a sporadic gunfire in Yambio on Saturday evening. Community leaders in Tonj South County of Arab State have agreed to move their cattle to the Tonj grazing areas without carrying firearms and pledged to surrender their weapons as part of ongoing disarmament efforts. And a civil society organization in Jonglei State has urged authorities and medical staff to reach an amicable settlement to end the standoff that has forced the closure of Bor Civil Hospital for more than a week, warning that the continued shutdown is only increasing the suffering of the people. That's the end of our Radio Morning News. If there is a story or an event you'd like I read or cover report about, please send us a text message at +211 925 287 It's also a WhatsApp number. Follow us on X at iRadio Juba. Like our Facebook page, iRadio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at iRadio South Sudan. You can also visit our website and listen to us online at www.iradio.org. Stay tuned for news in Arabic at 8 o'clock and the Lasuba Memo. Thank you for listening.